Okay, back in the dog pound for another workout. Today we're hitting, again, chest, forearms. It's been about 5-6 days since hitting chest last. Since the back workout video with forearms, I did do shoulders and we did arms and kind of one half leg day with hamstrings mixed in there. So today's chest again. Dumbbell bench is kind of the main movement of the chest days right now. So we're gonna hit 4 sets of 8 dumbbell bench, bumping up to the 95s today. And then we're gonna kind of move on from there with some pullovers, machine presses, flies, and maybe a couple new variations that I can show you today. Let's get started with today's workout. Should be a good one. Kind of doing it in the morning today instead of later, but get her done. So we're bumping up to the 95s today because I'm trying to lower the reps a little bit on the dumbbell bench to 4 sets of 8 instead of kind of a various reps in the 12 to 15 range. I think that's what I did last time, was about 13 in the first set. So we're going to try to do 4 sets of 8 straight sets just to get it a little bit more heavy. This is kind of the heavy movement of the day. The rest is flies, machine work, like I said. So we'll hit 95s, 4 sets of 8 is the plan. With anything, you kind of got to be open to change and, go with what your body's telling you. RPE should be like 8 or something like that. Not failure, but we can push it on the last set or two if we need to. Pretty heavy. The real challenge when you get heavier dumbbells, I think, is slow eccentrics. I'm trying to hit at least 3-second eccentrics, keeping it controlled, which gets more challenging as the sets progress and more challenging as the reps progress in each set. But like I said last chest day, crisp, clean reps is the goal all the time. And especially when you're at a public gym or filming like this, it's hard to leave your ego at the door and take off 5-10 pounds if you need to, but we'll see if that has to happen today. If the eccentrics are a little crazy or the reps start dropping too much, drop a little weight, perfectly fine. Remember, it's about hitting the target muscle with a movement that feels good to you, nothing else. Set 2, easy work.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Another advantage of slow eccentrics is you don't crush your toddler if they're in the gym with you. Got to keep it controlled to make sure you can bail to the right spot if needed. Okay, last set's where we're all right. Getting this up to close to failure. Might be there. Feeling pretty solid though.
When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed.
Uh-oh.
Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law.
Yep. That's not RPE, but that's all right. It is what it is. So this next movement, we're gonna do machine press. I think last chest day I filmed, I did incline machine press. We're sticking to flat today. This is kind of like an intuitive decision here. On the chest day, I hit my main movement and I'm gonna rotate some exercises right now to kind of bias, hate to say like the term, but like lower chest, which just means more flat pressing and incline pressing. It's hard to like isolate different parts of the chest, but essentially just reducing the incline work because of front delts being kind of sore still. So Still feel like I can press just fine, just whatever we can do to recover properly. So I'm gonna hit 12, 10, 8, 6 on the flat press machine here and just get a nice stretch and slow eccentric again, controlled reps, and probably increase the weight each set too. So that weight I thought actually felt way too easy for a little bit. And then it kind of just picked up intensity there at the end with reps like 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 through 9 felt like cake, but that's kind of the beauty of 12, 10, 8, 6 is you can start a little lighter. Maybe you'll guess the weight right on 12, or you have a training log to look back on, or maybe you can kind of just intuitively feel like, can I add 5 pounds or 10 or 15 next set? So like for me, since that did get challenging at the end, we're only gonna add 10 pounds for the set of 10. And then kind of go from there. You can kind of intuitively make weight increases in the pyramid.
Hope you're fine. When the sunrise, when the sun.
So that was pretty good as a 10-pound increase, and I think we're just gonna stick with that. Just hit 8 reps now with another 10 on it and go from there. Cool thing about becoming like a little bit more advanced in training, no pro bodybuilder, but have been training for 10 plus years. And when you train that long, you start to really kind of know your body, what you can handle for recovery, and then what movements, rep ranges, and weights in those rep ranges feel best, as long as you're progressing in some way, adding reps, adding weight over time. So you have a logbook, you can really kind of plug and play your favorite movements and rep ranges. So like maybe last week I did 4 by 12 to 15 on the incline machine. This week I did 12, 10, 8, 6 on the flat press machine. It's all hitting the chest. I'm still getting stronger on the dumbbell press. And then everything else is kind of just added volume. And I can pick the movements that feel best that day and the weights and rep ranges that hit me the best and I prefer. So that's kind of a nice way you do get more intuitive as you kind of get more trained. Are you shaking the weights? I'll do one of these and then we'll do pulley. Okay, let's do this first. All right, so this is the 6. I kind of think this will be easy. It's been getting harder at the higher reps, so. Yep, pretty easy. But we'll stop. All right, so we'll full her up. Now we'll move on to the cable fly portion of the training session today. This one might be one you haven't done. Like I said, kind of biasing lower chest, or at least more flat pressing chest isolation compared to losing a lot of front delt and upper chest. So we're gonna do flies, which last week I believe I did standing flies, just normal cable flies. This week we're gonna do kneeling cable flies, which just takes your momentum out of the movement. So it's good in that sense where you can kneel down, not get any body rocking or English. And then also because you're kneeling and the cables are high, your arms are coming from up to down. So you are squeezing kind of in that decline pattern. So we're gonna hit these. I like these as a good kind of chest isolator for higher reps, something like 15, 12, 10, 8, something like that, 4 or 5 sets. That's what we're gonna do. I think you can add a lot of chest fly volume on chest days. Is a good way to add some chest work without getting your tris fried. So that's the plan. Stand. All right, we bumped it up 5 pounds and we're gonna do 12. Okay, we're gonna stick at 10, so it's 15, 12, 10, 10. And this weight's pretty good. We are gonna do like 5 sets more flies today, so no need to push to absolute failure. Just a good 10. Now we're gonna move these handles down to the bottom and attempt to do cable flies on a bench. Okay, these are probably gonna be kind of like underhand flies, I guess. Put our feet down in the rack. And kind of come up. And that's too heavy. So as far as home gym equipment updates and everything is concerned, this is a Valor Fitness cable functional trainer or whatever you'd call it. I like it. It's been probably the best home gym edition as far as number of exercises you can do, cable stimulus, nothing beats it. But one annoying thing that has been happening, you probably saw it in that set, this little ball here, this thing starts to slide down the cable as you do anything where it's at the bottom position. The other side doesn't do this. This side will. This will slide down and kind of stop it inside the pulley. Kind of messes up the exercise. It's been annoying for a while now, and I don't really know how to fix it. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. I thought maybe like put like a zip tie or something on there so it kind of holds it. Just so it kind of holds it up tight. I don't know. That rubber piece I can't really get off unless I take the whole cable off or cut it. But then what do I put on in its place is kind of the question. Home gym problems. If you guys have ideas, let me know. That was an all right movement besides from the handle getting caught in the cable. I'm just gonna deal with it and try to like push it down through there or something and hit a few more sets here. We're gonna do more pulley, okay? More pulley. This time we're gonna change it up, keep the weight the same, and add a pause on the contraction. So at the top, we're gonna hit 3 more sets of 8 and pause at the top this time with the squeeze, really focusing on the squeeze. Not something I normally do. I normally focus on the stretch. We're gonna change it up a little bit here. So hold, 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 2 more sets of that, we're good for chest. Okay, we're gonna hit a little forearms to finish off today. Already did some pullovers and a little bit of bicep work. So now we're going to do forearms. We're gonna do 1 reverse curl variation with the cable. I'm gonna go straight down, let my wrist come up and then bend back. Then we're gonna do the new wrist roller, this style for wrist curls. Okay, so we'll go down, let it come up. 1, 2, yellow. And you know what? I hate that. Just like you can choose movements you're gonna do, you can choose movements you're gonna drop. That felt terrible. Not a good wrist curl variation. You probably would have. I was trying to do it from the top just to get a different angle on it. I'm gonna use the wrist roller twice. I'm gonna use the wrist roller with wrist extension and then the wrist roller with wrist flexion. That'll do the same thing and it'll feel a lot better. So a little audible to be called here. Okay, we'll try this instead. Oh yeah, see, that's perfectly serviceable. All right, to finish up now, we did 4 sets of the reverse wrist roller. Now we're gonna go down. So wrist curl action, hit the flexors of the forearms, and that'll do it for today. I'm gonna do 4 sets, film one of them, just kind of till burnout. Usually that's 3 rounds or so of the wrist roller. All right, folks, we're headed to town now. So the workout's all finished up. Kind of was running out of time because I had a dentist appointment, so had to run into town. We're about 20-30 minutes away from the nearest town. Had to kind of rush things up at the end, so I didn't get to film everything, but just did dumbbell pullovers and I think 5 sets of that, and then the forearm work as well with 4 sets of wrist roller, reverse wrist roller, so wrist extension, and then about 3 sets, I think, of wrist flexion on the wrist roller. And you saw how I kind of swapped out that wrist extension movement on the cable for the wrist roller after the first little set of not feeling it. That's what I was talking about earlier in the workout too. Like once you become more advanced and everything, the big benefit is you know what feels good, you know what doesn't feel good, you know what's a good stimulus, what's not. Like I knew on cable flies, for example, instead of going 15, 12, 10, 8, I went 15, 12, 10, 10, because I know stuff under 10 just doesn't feel that great for cable flies for me. Little things like that you really get to become an expert in for your own training. And I think the big idea here too is that what you really need in your head is a template of things you can do, not a set program. You need, so like if you're following this workout, I wouldn't recommend following this workout exactly. I'd follow it as a template, which means a chest press, a secondary chest press, a fly movement or 2 fly movements, and then some forearm work that feels good to you in a higher rep range. That'd be the template of today's workout, where you don't have to necessarily follow the exact movements I did, but what you can do is swap movements out for ones that feel good for you and get the best stimulus. I wouldn't call it drama, but there was a lot of feedback on my video about the lever arms, getting rid of my lever arms because I didn't like the strength curves and everything of them. You know, a lot of experts online, of course, and some of them might be right as far as how I was using the lever arms, but that doesn't necessarily matter. What really matters is the movements that I wanted them for, they didn't feel good for. So I found substitutes that felt good for me. So I'm not saying everybody has to do the same exercises as me. You just need to find a template of a good program essentially, and then plug in the movements and rep ranges and weights that feel good for you to get a good stimulus for that muscle group. Again, you need to be progressing over time, some kind of overload, whether it's weight or reps or both. But in general, you can be pretty intuitive with your training, and that's kind of when training gets fun. When you don't have to do barbell bench, dumbbell bench, machine bench, every single chest day, when you can choose different presses, different dumbbells, machines, barbells, specialty bars, and you can rotate things in a way that you like. That's when training really gets fun and things really start to pick up for you in terms of gains too. So I can get more into that later as far as what I consider to be a good training template. But as you're watching these videos, if you're watching my workouts, instead of copying the exact workout or thinking that this exercise would be better or this exercise would be better, just think of it as a template, and do that whenever you see any influencer. Obviously, I'm not a very big YouTube channel, but if you see somebody that is big and they're doing a certain training session, even someone like a pro bodybuilder, don't think of it like, oh wow, this person does the hammer strength incline press instead of an incline dumbbell press. I wonder why. It's not necessarily like that. What you need to think of is, oh wow, this person did fly, a flat press, an incline press, and then push-ups, and that's their basic template for training. And you can move your movements in and out, and that also opens up opportunities for you to go to any gym. You can work out at a home gym, you can work out at a Planet Fitness, you can work out at a CrossFit gym, you can work out at Metroflex, you can do anything, because you can just plug and play different movements. Of course, some consistency helps because you need some sort of progression. So you can't do a new exercise every single week and expect to get better necessarily, or at least it's going to be hard to track yourself getting better. You need to circle back to some movements every couple weeks, or maybe even every week you keep something in, like I'm keeping the dumbbell press in, so you know if you're getting stronger and building muscle. Anyways, though, that's it for today's video. Thank you for joining me, and I'm going to go get my teeth cleaned. And that'll be it for today. A little chest workout with some forearms. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. Stoltz Fit on TikTok and YouTube, where you can kind of follow along on my own health and fitness journey and hopefully get some helpful tips and tricks along the way. Peace, everybody.